The NT555 G2 is the second generation of NITTO's ultra high performance summer tire line, and as such is going to feature some subtle improvements over its predecessor. Sizing for the G2 lineup will range from 17 to 20 inches in diameter, and with section widths ranging from 235 on the narrow side to the massive 315s rounding out the big end. Your pricing will obviously depend on your sizing, but look to spend between $100 and $250 per tire, depending on diameter and width. Believe it or not, NITTO has been around ever since the mid-1900s, which might actually come as a surprise to some enthusiasts out there, but the point is here, guys, they've been around a long time, and as such have built a really solid reputation for both the on and off-road scene, and even in the competition space as well. And as someone who has been doing this thing a very long time, I've been around the aftermarket for a while, I actually remember when the original 555 came onto the scene back in the 90s, and since then it's still been a very popular tire to go to when you're looking to balance performance, looks, and also price. But after 15 years or so, NITTO thought it would be a great idea to freshen up their extremely popular 555 with the G2 shown here, which is going to do all the same great things the original tire did, but with some subtle improvements across the board. Now, the biggest difference between this tire and its predecessor can be found visually, right, with the tread pattern itself. Now, like the original, the G2 here does maintain that directional tread pattern, but visually it's gonna be more modern, and it's all done for a purpose. NITTO is actually gonna double up the center rib here, which will offer increased dry traction in addition to better straight line stability. NITTO also increased the size of the tread blocks themselves here, and that's more apparent on the wider tires, 275 or above like we have right here, and that's gonna be great for the rear wheel drive Mustang, right? Staggered fitments, things like that, as it will help to increase your traction off the line, working with the redesigned angular blocks here, or tapered blocks as they call them, to help increase your cornering stability according to NITTO. But one thing in particular that NITTO was most proud of here with the introduction of the G2 was its performance in wet conditions, and this includes both handling and braking performance. Now that can be directly attributed to these two massive grooves running the circumference of the tire to better help push water away from the tire itself, preventing any hydroplaning, but also increasing the wet performance. Now, along with that, NITTO also used a completely redesigned silica compound for the G2 here over the original 555, which again will help increase performance overall. Now, with all that said, this is actually a great time to bring up those UTQG numbers, and you'll find that despite the improved performance here with the G2, it's actually marginally harder compared to the original 555 with a tread wear rating of 320 here with the G2 compared to 300 and the OG tire. Now, in theory, that should increase the lifespan of the new tire overall to around 40,000 miles according to NITTO, but that is certainly being generous. Now, traction and temp grades are both the highest available, with a AA for traction and single A for temperature respectively. And speaking of temperature, it is important to point out that a UHP or ultra high performance tire like the G2 here is intended for use in temps above 45 degrees. Now that doesn't mean you can't drive this thing in colder weather, but because the compound is a little softer, the tires can get a little hard and a little slick when cold. So point being, just use caution when you're driving in the colder weather. Also keep in mind, guys, this is not a drag radial. So for guys out there making more power than stock and are looking for more grip off the line, you might want to look into a 555R or even the NT555R, both of which are drag radials available from NITTO. Now, me personally, I'm a firm believer in reading the reviews for just about any product out there when buying to help your decision, but especially when shopping in the tire category. And with that said, guys, the G2 is extremely popular here on the site, and as a result, you're gonna have a number of reviews to read up on from owners out there who are actually pounding the pavement with the G2 in place. So again, read up on some of those if you haven't already done so. Also keep in mind here, gang, we do mount and balance for free. We also ship for free as well. So if you're looking for a new wheel, a new tire, or maybe both, Never a bad idea to check out our pre-assembled wheel and tire kits. Great way to take some of the legwork out of the wheel and tire buying process for you. Now, if you do want to go this route, just make sure to grab a new set of lug nuts, as most aftermarket wheels have a smaller opening, rendering your stock lugs useless, in addition to the TPMS sensors if you have a 2007 and newer ride. So if you're looking for superb wet and dry performance out of your summer tire, be sure to check out the next generation of the 555 from NITTO with their G2 right here at AmericanMuscle.com.